press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Namaste children, let us continue with the topic structural organization in animals. In our last class we discussed about the digestive system of earthworm. In this class we will discuss about circulatory, excretory, nervous and reproductive system of earthworm. Coming to the circulatory system of earthworm, understood. In earthworm we see closed type of circulatory system. Which type of circulatory system we see? Closed type of circulatory system is seen in earthworm, and blood glands are present. See here. So on fourth, fifth and sixth segment, in fourth, fifth and sixth segment, blood glands are present which produce blood cells. Hemoglobin is present, but it is not present in RBC, they are present in plasma. Hemoglobin is dissolved in plasma, understood. Here in earthworm, hemoglobin is present in plasma, it is dissolved in plasma. Blood cells are phagocytic in nature. Phagocytic means they can engulf the microbes, foreign substances or foreign microbes which enter into our body, thereby it provides immunity. As we see closed type of circulatory system, the blood flows in a blood vessels. We see a well-developed blood vessels. The blood flows in one direction and blood flow will be seen in blood vessels. It is not open type, it is closed type in earthworm. So blood always moves in one direction. Understood? So thus coming to circulatory system, in earthworm we see closed type of circulatory system with heart and blood vessels. So blood glands are present between fourth, fifth and sixth segment. Fourth, fifth and sixth segments we see a blood glands that produces blood cells. Blood cells are phagocytic in nature, so thereby they provide immunity. Hemoglobin is present, but it is not seen in RBC, they are present in plasma, they are dissolved in plasma, understood. And coming to the respiratory system, in earthworm we will not see well defined respiratory system, but they can respire through their skin. Understood? Moist skin, that type of respiration is called cutaneous respiration. Respiration which occurs through the skin is called cutaneous respiration, that is seen in cockroach. Understood? Hagagi ventral side, see in the ventral side we see deoxygenated blood, that is why here the blood vessel is blue in color, but in the dorsal side we see oxygenated blood because here the exchange of gases easily occurs on their dorsal side through the skin. So blood flows in one direction. So like this it is having many branches. We see lateral arch, and this is dorsal vessel, this is ventral vessel, and these two are lateral esophageal arch. So here the exchange of gases takes place in the skin region and oxygenated blood enters into the dorsal vessel. From there through their many branches it is supplied to each and every cell in the earthworm, understood. And again to the ventral vessel the blood is taken and again the blood reaches the dorsal side. Like this the respiration occurs. So in the earthworm respiration occurs through the gaseous exchange occurs through the moist skin called cutaneous respiration, understood. So that is about respiratory system. So this dorsal blood vessel is mainly help us to know whether it is dorsal side or ventral side. So in the dorsal side we see mid dorsal line that represents blood vessel, on the ventral side we see genital pores. Coming to the nephridia or excretory system, we see nephridia. So nephridia are excretory or cells or organs in earthworm. So they mainly helps to maintain volume of body fluids, osmotic concentration and volume of body fluids. In the earthworm releases urea as a excretory product. Hagagi they are ureotelic organisms. Cockroaches are uricotelic organisms, whereas earthworms are ureotelic. They release urea as their excretory product. Coming to this nephridia, nephridia is divided into three parts. There are three types of nephridia: pharyngeal nephridia, and integumentary nephridia, and septal nephridia. So how many types of nephridia are there? Three types: pharyngeal nephridia, integumentary nephridia, and septal nephridia. So pharyngeal nephridia are present in the 4th, 5th and 6th segment. See, they are present in 4th, 5th and 6th segment. And integumentary nephridia from 3rd segment till the end we see integumentary nephridia, and septal nephridia from the 15th segment till the end we see septal nephridia. Septal nephridia are present, see, they are present between the septum. It is the septum which divides the earthworm into many metameres. So these nephridia are present in the septum, that's why they are called septal nephridia. Integumentary are distributed in the metameres. So this is forest of integumentary nephridia. In the clitellum region, the 14th, 15th and 16th segment, in the clitellum region, we see many integumentary nephridia. That represents forest of integumentary nephridia. That represents forest of integumentary nephridia, and we have three pairs of pharyngeal nephridia, tufts of pharyngeal nephridia. And this nephridia may be exonephric or endonephric. Exonephric antandre, nephridia are tubular structures. They have tubules. Bari opening ashte kanta ide, but this is a nephridia means it is a tubular structure. It is a tubular structure. What we see, only openings we see on the surface. Only we see openings. Nephridia are tubular structure like nephron. It is tubular structure. So if the coenomic content is released to the outer surface, they are called exonephric. Integumentary nephridia, septal nephridia and pharyngeal nephridia are there. So your pharyngeal nephridia are endonephric. Endonephric means they release their coenomic content or waste into the alimentary canal or lumen. Hagagi pharyngeal nephridia is endonephric. They release waste into the lumen. Understood? Integumentary nephridia and septal nephridia, they release waste to the outer surface of body. That's why they are exonephric in nature. Exonephridia. If the nephridia releases waste into the alimentary canal or into the lumen, it is called endonephric. If the nephridia releases waste to the outer surface of a body, then they are called exonephric. Understood? So this excretory system mainly helps to maintain the volume of body fluid and the osmotic concentration of body fluid. Then pitkovek nevu pharyngeal nephridia, integumentary and septal nephridia. Coming to the nervous system, see, in the nervous system we see ganglia are present and they are joined ventrally, they are joined through a pair of nerve cord, longitudinal nerve cord. So we see supraesophageal ganglia. Supraesophageal ganglia andre, supra means above the esophagus. Supra means above the esophagus. Supraesophageal ganglia and circumpharyngeal ganglia. Subesophageal ganglia in Margate, it splits near 3rd and 4th segment, and it splits and covers the pharynx and forms a ring-like structure called circumpharyngeal ganglia. Subesophageal ganglia, sub means below the esophagus, supra means above the esophagus. So this splits and covers the esophagus, forming circumpharyngeal ganglia or nerve ring. So below that we see subesophageal ganglia. All three ganglia are connected to each other with a longitudinal nerve cord. So like this, the nerves are distributed throughout the body of earthworm. Understood? That is about nervous system. Nervous system of earthworm consists of supraesophageal ganglia, circumpharyngeal ganglia and subesophageal ganglia. So these ganglia along with other nerves helps to command muscular movement of the body. These ganglia with the other nerves in their body helps to command muscular movements of an organism. And sensory receptors eyes are not seen in earthworm, eyes are absent, but we see touch and light sensitive receptors are there. Touch and light sensitive receptors are there. And also it is having chemoreceptors. That means it can recognize the taste with the help of chemoreceptors, and they are very much sensitive to light and touch. Due to these touch receptors, they can find the vibrations that present on the surface of a soil. So earthworm does not contain eyes, but they have touch and light receptors and also chemoreceptors. Light receptors, if the sunlight is more, they go and burrow inside the soil. They burrow the soil with the help of prostomium, and they hide themselves inside the soil. Understood? So that is with the help of light receptors. And touch receptors helps to feel the vibrations that occurs in the soil. And chemoreceptors helps to find out the taste. The chemical receptors. Coming to the reproductive system of earthworm. They are hermaphrodites, or you can tell bisexual organisms or monoecious. Hermaphrodites or bisexual or monoecious. That means in the same organism we see both male and female reproductive organs. In the same organism we see both male and female reproductive organs. So the male reproductive organs consist of pair of testes present between the 10th and 11th segment in a testis sac. Sac means bag-like structure. In this sac we see a presence of testes. So testes are present in the 10th and 11th segment in a testis sac. And we see seminal vesicles, pair of seminal vesicles near the testes. What is the main function of testes? It is to produce male gamete called sperms. So the sperms are produced in the testes, and the maturation of sperms occurs in seminal vesicles. Maturation of sperms occurs in seminal vesicles, and from the spermiducal funnel, from the seminal vesicle they are released to the spermiducal funnel. From there we see a duct called vas deferens. From there we see a pair of vas deferens arising from each testis. So that vas deferens joins the prostate gland. Vas deferens joins the prostate gland, and from the prostate gland we see a duct called prostate duct. They both join to form a common prostate and spermatic duct in the 18th segment. Adike now on 18th segment, on ventrolateral side of 18th segment we see male genital aperture, where the opening of common prostatic and spermatic duct is seen. That is about male reproductive system. So we see pair of testes present in a testis sac, and we see the seminal vesicles. So testis produces the sperms, and sperms are going to be matured in seminal vesicles. From there they are released to the spermiducal funnel. From there we see a rising of vas deferens, duct called vas deferens, and enters into prostate gland. It is also accessory gland, helps in maturation of sperms also. From prostate gland again one duct comes. So there we see the joining of both vas deferens and prostatic duct, both joints. That's where common prostatic and spermatic duct is seen. That opening is seen in the ventrolateral side of 18th segment. That is about the male reproductive system of cockroach. Coming to female reproductive system, between the 12th and 13th segment we see a pair of ovary. Between the 12th and 13th segment we see a pair of ovary, and ovarian funnel is seen in the 14th. See the opening mid-ventral, single opening is seen on the mid-ventral region, that represents female genital pore. That represents female genital pore. And the spermatic between 6th to 9th or 5th to 9th segment we see a 4 pairs of spermaticae that receives the sperms and stores in them during sexual act. What's the main function of spermaticae? It receives the sperms during sexual act. So for the sexual act to occur, this is one earthworm, this is mouth, and this is anus. So 2 organisms we need. So they should mate in opposite direction. This is one earthworm, this is one earthworm. So these 2 should undergo sexual act in opposite direction. That means if the one earthworm is having mouth on this side, means other opposite earthworm should mouth face towards opposite side. Understood? So during the sexual act, what happens? The sperms are going to be interchanged. The sperms are going to be interchanged, and they are stored in the spermaticae. What happens during the sexual act? The sperms are going to be exchanged between 2 earthworms. Understood? Then that sperms are stored in the spermaticae. After that, we know that 14th and 15th segment, 14th, 15th and 16th segment, clitellum is present. So that clitellum will start secreting a glandular substance that helps to formation of cocoon. So that cocoon, while coming out from the earthworm, receives the matured sperms and ovum, and in the cocoon only, the fertilization takes place. And in the cocoon, fertilization is going to take place. In earthworm, as they are hermaphrodites, the both male and female reproductive gametes are produced in the same organism. But in the sexual act, during the sexual act, they need 2 organisms. They should mate in the opposite direction. And during the sexual act, we see the exchange of sperms exchange of sperms between the earthworms, and the sperms are stored in the spermatic. Once the sexual act is finished, the clitellum present between 14th, 15th and 16th segment will start producing glandular substances. That glandular substances, while coming out of the earthworm, it receives the sperms and also ovum, and they are deposited in the soil. They are deposited in the soil. In the cocoon, the fertilization takes place. From each cocoon, 2 to 20 young earthworms will come out. On an average, 4 earthworm will see. On an average, 4 earthworm will come out from the cocoon. Usually, 2 to 20 young ones will come out from each cocoon. But on an average, at least there will be 4 earthworms. The development is direct. There is no larva stages. The development in earthworm is direct development. Understood? We see direct development. Coming to the economic importance of earthworm, they are very important for farmers. That's why they are also called farmers' friend. As they dig the soil, pores are created in the soil that helps in easy penetration of water and air so that every content will reach the root of the cultivated plants. And also the excretory product of earthworm, what we call it as vermicompost, acts as a very good fertilizer for the cultivating plants. In that way, it is going to play a very economic to farmers. And also it can be used as a bait in game fishing. Fish ಹಿಡಿಯಕ್ಕೆ ಗಾಳಕ್ಕೆ earthworm ಸಿಗಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. So it can be used as a bait in game fishing. So this is about earthworm. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋದು ನೀವೇನು, the fertilization occurs in cocoon and they are hermaphrodites. Understood? In spermatica, after the sexual act, the sperms are going to be stored, and the clitellum mainly helps in the formation of cocoon. All these things you have to remember for your exams. Understood? And diagram, only the diagram they will ask for 5 marks in your PU board. So the digestive system of cockroach will come as a 5 marks question, and reproductive system of not cockroach, earthworm. The digestive system, even cockroach digestive system, reproductive system, earthworm digestive system, reproductive system, they all will come in your PU board exam for 5 marks question. Practice well. Okay. Thank you.